All right, we are live. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. My daughter's home. She's on a Zoom call meeting in the other room, and it was just a little too noisy, so I had to skedaddle out of the living room. Normally I have the house to myself, but when she's home, it's sort of like, you know how that is when there's kids home. A lot of chatter and chaos, and of course, all of that is it's nice to have her home. So just adapt. But all right. So here we are. Let me just pull up my notes here. Welcome in. So where is everybody coming in from? Because we are in Michigan. And boy, do we have a snowstorm. We're used to it though. And this storm that's going, oh, geez, we got the football game on in the other room, and it's snowing like crazy in Denver, and just coming all the way east and south, and just hammering people who have no idea how to handle snow. Like I say, fortunately, we do. Lily, you're coming in from Alberta. Yeah, you guys sure know how to handle snow, don't you? So yeah, it's crazy. Um, but it's been pretty. I always love a day when I don't have to go anywhere. I did head out. I went to the gym. The gym's only like 2 miles away. So I felt safe doing that. And that's just sort of like there's some non-negotiables. Like I'm not so afraid of what's happening out there. And I just move gingerly along my way and just be mindful and be careful, and made it to the gym, had a great workout, and came home and just been bunked in for the day. So we're expecting another 5 to 7 inches. So yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is for where you guys are at, but we're sure getting hammered here. It's going to go all night. So I'm getting over to my show notes here for us. Okay. Where are we? This is not where I want to be. Hold on. Sunday Night Live. Detox Day 7 Insights. That's where I want to be. Yeah, that's where I want to be. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I have, Lily, you guys have been dealing with lots of snow. You guys got snowed in, didn't you? Couldn't get out of your driveway. Yeah. Okay. So I've been talking a lot about detox since before the new year. And, the biggest reason that I've explained is that there's Mary Lou. Mary Lou's in Michigan. Yep, Mary Lou's right here with me. just staying in. So, I've been talking a ton about detox. Mary Lou's been going through the detox, and it was really important to me, even more so than it has been in past years, to really go hard on having this conversation, because we have just been getting, we're just bombarded with toxins. And we're also bombarded with a lot of information out there that is not in your best interest. In fact, when I went to the gym today, and this sign has been up for a few weeks, excuse me, and it's a 3-day juice cleanse. And then we have a little juice bar at the gym. And I love a juice every now and then, but this 3-day juice cleanse, and it's $145 for 3 days of juices, and you get no guidance. I mean, they tell you what juices to drink what days, but there's no guidance. There's no, how do you start? How do you stop? What do you do after? Nobody's holding your hand. Nobody's giving you information. Nobody's educating you on why you're doing this to begin with. So it's really messed up to me that we just need more people like me talking about it to get you the information so that you can make sure that you're making wise decisions when it comes to your health. We see that detox, and we're like, yeah, that sounds good. We love that word because just thinking about it makes us think that we're going to feel better. We gravitate to it because we're like, yeah, I got to do something. I got to clean up. And And that's where, you end up spending money on things that they're not they don't work. There's no science behind it. And again, what do you do? Who's guiding you? How do you know if you're doing even the right thing for you? So so that's why I started right before the new year, that I really wanted to make sure that I just, laid it all out for you. So we are on today's day 7 of Detox with the Doc. And that was a program. This is a program I've been doing for several years now with my patients. And it's, I detoxify every single day, and I eat super healthy. And I take my detox powder. I've been taking it for 20 years, and I eat pretty darn healthy. But I take this 10 days along with my patients so that I'm going through the process with you. I'm going through the 10 days. I'm living it here with you so that you have an understanding. Well, I have a better understanding too. I experience something different every single time. But then also there's something kind of fun. Like, I'm doing this along with you. I'm the expert and I'm still doing it, and I'm doing it along with you. Um, so we're on day 7. Tomorrow's day 8. Wednesday's day 10, which is the last day. And it doesn't necessarily mean the last day. What 10 days ultimately is it's just a kickstart. It's a jump start. It's to get your brain behind some good new habits. It's to get you understanding how good your body can feel in just 7 days to today, from last Monday to today. So what can 7 days really do for you? When we talk about how getting your health together, it took years to get your health to crash and burn. Or maybe it's just some mild things that you're struggling with, maybe eczema, or maybe you have headaches, um, constipation, diarrhea, IBS, some autoimmune issues somewhere along the way. Maybe that's what you're struggling with. Anxiety, depression, gut health, sleep, hormones. There's so many different things that people, we end up just minimizing our symptoms. We end up minimizing what we're going through because oftentimes we don't know how to find the right answers. And so that's where I'm going to ask each and every one of you, make sure you're liking this channel. Please, it's all about the biology. Jump over to my channel, Dr. Paula Ruffin, and give that a subscribe, as well as the thumbs up on both channels, and subscribe on both. So really important that we, have your help getting this message out. Share these videos with people. When you listen to this, think about who do you know, who comes to mind when you hear what I'm talking about. So we talk about how getting your health together is it's a process. It can take months, it can take years. And in all reality, we have to think about how, I had mold. I lived in a moldy house. We're going to get rid of you. There you go. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, Wolfman. So I lived in a moldy house for many years. I was pregnant in this environment. I didn't really understand what was happening in the house. I couldn't figure it out. It didn't smell moldy. It smelled musty. I don't know. Anyway, won't go too deep into that. I'm going to do another episode, and we're going to talk about mold. We got to unpack mold this year. So I haven't done a whole lot on mold, and I think that's an important one as well. So I've spent years. I wake up every morning now, years later. Again, I was pregnant in this environment. My daughter's 21. So, I've probably lived in this environment for 25 years, but I fixed it about 12 years in, maybe, right? So I didn't fix it until maybe about, 10 years ago. But every morning I wake up and I'm clearing my throat. I'm congested. I get congested at night, even though, I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing all the things. So the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people want this Hail Mary. They're like, "Oh, 10 days and I'm gonna feel better." You're gonna feel better. You're definitely gonna feel better. But that's where the real work begins. We can't just take 10 days and then think everything's gonna change. So, but I wanted to go through with you um, how good you can feel in just 7 days, 10 days. And here's Ken. Ken is also he's doing detox with the doc, and he says, "Hey, that metagenics is really giving me some energy. I remember it did that last year also." And that is typically what most people say, that they get more energy. And I got to tell you guys, that's something I noticed this year also. Um, I've noticed my energy and my sleep, and it's kind of crazy because I'm sleeping. I'm a little tired earlier in the night, but I'm waking up at like 6:30, wide a freaking wake. And it's interesting because I'm like, I don't feel like staying in bed, so I'm getting up and I'm going to the gym early. I'm going to the early yoga classes. I'm getting a jump on my day, and it feels pretty freaking cool. And the other thing with that is I'm getting more sound, solid sleep. So that's something to think about, is I'm actually getting less hours of sleep, but my sleep pattern is deeper. I'm getting more restful sleep, and my sleep cycles are better. So so that's, when you start to think about, well, what is 7 days? What is 7 days? How 7 days gonna scratch the surface? Yeah, it really does. And even Ken said, and Ken, I don't think you don't stay on the ultra clear, do you? I think you only do this the once a year with me. Is this your second or third year doing it? But imagine, so that's why I stay. I continue to I do one shake a day. I do one scoop of the detox powder, and and I do that every day. I've done that for 20 years because I'm recognizing too, with this mold issue, that I got to stay on top of it. So and I still have issues. So it never ends. Pouring into your health doesn't ever stop. And I think most everybody knows that. But you know what, Lily, I don't know if they ship internationally, but I will find out for you for sure. I think that's a great question. I will find out. Let me send a text message right now to Canada. Let's see. Let's find that out right now, because I know a lot of you guys are coming in from other countries. Does Metagenics ship internationally, specifically looking for Canada? Okay, we'll find out live. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to walk you through my day one through my day 1 through 7, and Ken and Mary Lou, if you guys want to chime in, they've been in this program, and I'm curious to know your feedback. So I had asked we got about 7-8 people in doing it with me this year. I'd love 50. I want as many people to get exposed to this kind of what I'm going to air quote it, medicine, as possible, because man, it's life changing, and it's doing it the right way. And of course, again, she said we do not. Dang it. Okay, so no shipping to Canada. Okay, bummer. All right. Sorry, hold on one second. I got this. It's like I got these. My AirPods are in, and they're kind of making my ears a little poppy. Hold on. Okay. All right. Maybe if I force a yawn, can you still hear me? Okay. All right. So Ken says, yeah, unfortunately, once a year, but it's still got a monthly dose of immune active from Metagenics. Yeah. Okay. Great. So he's talking about the immune active. That's actually that's got our N-acetylcysteine in it. That's excellent. It's got quercetin. So that's excellent for cold and flu season. That is better than any injection you want to put into you. The immune active is outstanding for making sure that you're maintaining your immune system. So, Lily, I'll see if I can't do a little digging for you and see if I can't find something good quality for you. up there in Canada that you can, and I'd be happy to help you figure it out because I want to make sure you're getting just as good a quality. So, um, so day one was last Monday. So we had Sunday Night Live on Sunday. We had Ken on, and Ken's behind the scenes most of the time, and there he is. Everybody say hi to Ken. And we had a great interview, and we talked about all this biology and from soil to gut and overall health. And we talked about, we dove into some stuff last week. It was great. You'll have to go back and listen to it. So I know Mary Lou's on here. She really appreciated and enjoyed our conversation. But so day one, now I don't think I drink a lot of coffee, but I got a headache because there's no gluten, no dairy, no corn, soy, no caffeine, no alcohol. And I ended up on day one, so no coffee. And about mid-afternoon, I started to get a headache. One of those bounding ones that you're like, ooh, and it kind of like you feel like your brain is a little squeezy. And it lasted all through the night. And then I even woke up with it a couple of times in the middle of the night. And this is the kind of headache that made me almost question, God, I'd like to take a couple of Advil. But, I don't have drugs in my house. I don't have any kind of that stuff in my house. But this is the kind of headache that this is what most people experience. And they go, God, I got a headache. And they just go and they just take the nonsteroidal anti-inflammatories. And without even recognizing how freaking damaging these are to your gut microbiome, to your overall health, it causes such destruction of your metabolic pathways, of your mitochondria, where you get your energy from. And so I usually fail to preface before the detox to tell people, if you get a headache, do not take anything for it. Just go take some extra magnesium. I usually forget to tell people that. And as I'm saying that, I'm saying it out loud now so that I won't forget the next time. Because then, people will come in. Because then, this detox with the doc, this is the one time a year I do along with you. And then, but I do this also other times during the year. You can also do it self-guided. That's simple to do. And you order your detox kit, and there's a PDF document that walks you through it. And then of course you'll have access to me, and I can, you can send me some email. If you have any questions, email those to me. So where was I going with that? So we just want to like not just run to the cabinet and take these drugs because they're so dangerous. Let's see, what does the list of items you don't take during the detox? The caffeine, I think it was the caffeine. So it was definitely the caffeine that gave me the lack of caffeine that gave me the headache. And again, I don't think I drink a ton of caffeine, but I haven't, but that was weird to me. Like I could have gone and taken something. So I want to encourage people, you got to kind of sit with that. Those are signals. They're not just symptoms. They're signals to your body. So what is your body trying to say to you? So I just eliminated something. Clearly it's been causing some kind of repercussion in my body, that if I removed it, my body was having this addiction and this reaction to it. So why am I then going to go take another type of drug and put it in my body to offset what removing this drug, the caffeine? I'm calling caffeine a drug, but you get my point, that if I remove caffeine and I take a drug to offset the pain, that doesn't do me any good. The question is, what do I need to support my body? I need more hydration. I got up the next day. I took a ton of electrolytes, additional magnesium, some vitamin C, which I do every day. And I took creatine, which also I do every day, but I just took extra of everything. It was gone. It was gone by noon the next day. So that's a long time to have a headache, but you're in a detox. It's not going to feel great. That's what people have to recognize, is that you already don't feel great because your health is you've learned how to compartmentalize and how to live with your signals. And so now's the time to start to peel these layers away. I want to read what Mary Lou says. My sleep is better. My bowel movements are regular. That's freaking awesome. With a 50-year history of ulcerative colitis. That's always been an issue, even though I've been in remission for years. Isn't that, you guys, like, way to go, Mary Lou. Way to freaking go. And I always say too, I'm so grateful for people like Ken and Mary Lou and everybody else who trust me to work with me. I'm always like, I can't make promises, but I kind of can. I know you're going to feel better. Mary Lou says, I haven't taken a pain reliever in a couple of months. Bravo. So yeah, let's stay away from all of that stuff. So, hey, Mad Dog, nice to see you in here. How are you? Sorry if I'm missing people jumping in here. I had to boot somebody off there, being naughty. So that was day one. I mean, that was kind of crazy. I was like, okay, I guess I was drinking too much coffee. And also, see, I have a really fancy espresso machine, and I don't like weak coffee. My coffee is strong. So I'm probably, my one cup of coffee is probably the equivalent to somebody else's 4. So, I probably got to scale that back a little bit, but so day 2, not a big deal. Day 3. So by day 3, I was like, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, so by, yeah, that was just sort of like status quo because we're just starting to get all the toxins out. And then on day 4, which was Thursday, I had to be up at 5 a.m. for a 7 o'clock meeting. You guys, I was up before the alarm. My body was up. I usually, if I have to get up early like that, my body doesn't like it. I'm trashed for the day. I can't wait to get home and go to bed. I had so much energy all day. It was crazy. I have bandwidth. I'm thinking clearer. I feel my creativity is coming back. I was really struggling with fatigue and brain fog. So I always know too. So again, even though I'm doing this stuff all the time, I was still being affected by something in my environment. Mad Dog says tea for me. It's a British thing. Yes. I had some, what did I have today? I had roasted dandelion tea today after dinner. But it's really an opportunity just to start paying better attention to what's happening now, to the signals, and then also paying attention to how's your body responding to this? Like our bodies love this. It's craving all of this stuff. So, the elimination and there's a couple of different ways that I have people do this. Hey, Kenny, welcome in, my friend. We're talking about detox. You got to give up that Miracle Whip. Let me read this and then I'll tell you how we do it. A lady at my work years ago before I retired used to make coffee so strong you could stand a spoon in it. I had a cup and was high the rest of the afternoon. That's probably what my coffee would do to you also, Lily. So we are talking about detox. We're talking about cleansing. So even if, and this is why I want to encourage you guys to, even if you're like, I don't really want to do the detox. I did a video. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Last Sunday, it wasn't a Sunday Night Live. It was just a video I posted. And it was my meal prep for the week. And I basically said, yeah, I think this was it. You don't need to cleanse. Or was that Sunday Night Live? Hold on. Let me just, let's pull this up real quick. There we go. Okay. Let me, hold on. There we go. I'm going to click that. Okay. Okay. Go hit that video and watch it. And I showed all of my food prep and all the food that I shopped for, and it's truly just food. So, even if you're thinking, "Oh, detox," because also that word detox can sound very overwhelming. It can sound very daunting. It can sound very difficult. And when you go watch this video that I just posted, if you just ate like I laid out in that video last Sunday, if you do that for 7 days, you will feel amazing. So, this isn't always about, yes, we have to detox. We've got to dive deeper. But what if you just started there? What if you just started with real freaking food? I mean, think about, like, and I have I love potato chips. Love, love, love potato chips. So I eat a lot of potatoes. That's my I don't know if I'd say my downfall, but I do like air fryer potatoes and uh but I just don't eat potato chips all the time. I might eat potato chips a couple times a month or something. But I do just try to really, that would be my indulgent thing, I guess. But in general, when I start to think about, I'm eating sourdough bread every day. What else I'm having, well, I haven't had any alcohol. So that's good, and I think that's also, alcohol definitely disrupts my sleep. See it in my sleep numbers. But my favorite chips are the Cape Cod 40% reduced fat. Those are my favorites. That's what I ate during pregnancy. That and French onion dip was my indulgence when I was pregnant. So, um, and let's see. Lily says, "I enjoy a good cup of tea, herbal, typically trying to get away from coffee." Yeah, I had that headache, man. I had that headache. So I'm gonna be super mindful now going forward. And listen, you guys, I cannot wait to have a cup of coffee. It's like that craving has not left me. Now, I do have this like mushroom coffee with roasted chicory root in it, and it's pretty darn close, but you definitely tell, like, when I drink it and I smell it and I'm like, "Oh yeah." But my brain is like, there's no caffeine in there. It's a mental game. So, I think the other thing too to recognize is that yeah, I don't know, is that craving ever going to go away? I just need to be more mindful and not drink a ton of it, maybe just have like one shot in the morning instead of three shots of coffee. So, but so the other day, when was it? Yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I went over to stopped by my neighbors, took my dog over there because they have two dogs and I wanted my dog to play. And so I took him over there and they got a whole bunch of energy out. And I go to her house and she just made homemade blueberry muffins and a fresh pot of coffee. And she's like, do you want a blueberry muffin? And I go, yeah. And then I was like, no, oh my God. And then she goes, do you want some coffee? I go, yeah, no, can't have any of it. So I say that to also say, there's never a good time. There's always a neighbor that's going to be baking something. There's always a birthday party. There's always a picnic. There's Super Bowl is coming up. There's a vacation. There's always going to be a time. And I hear this from so many people where they're like, oh, I want to wait to start the detox in 10 weeks after I go on vacation. I'm like, why would you wait? Why are you waiting to take care of your health? And that's why, if you, like I say, if you whittle it down to that video and just go into that video and just like take notes on all the food that I had laid out on my counter, and you just eat like that for a week. I challenge each and every one of you to get that clean. And the other thing too is it's the program itself isn't super low carb, but I'm actually lowering my carbs as well. So I probably am only getting 50 to 75 carbohydrates a day. If for anybody who tracks any of that stuff. If you can stay below 100 carbohydrates a day, you will start to make those shifts in your diet, in your health, because when you start to recognize the carbohydrate content in what we typically eat, you know, a handful of crackers, um, uh, even things like bean soup, super high in carbohydrates, super high in fiber, not necessarily bad for you, super healthy for you. But I'm trying to also scale back the carbohydrate content as well, and that especially if people have any kind of neurodevelopmental issue, anything with the brain, sleep, anxiety, depression, ADD, ADHD. If you can really lower those carbohydrates, protein forward, fat forward. So, you know, kind of like a hybridized keto Mediterranean diet kind of a thing. Your brain starts to wake up. You start to actually, you know, anything that's happening in the brain. Alzheimer's is, they're calling it type 3 diabetes, because your brain uses like 20% of the energy that we, you know, it requires 20% of our fuel. And so that's a lot of blood sugar. That's a lot of blood sugar regulation. So when we're overdosing on carbohydrates, we're actually flooding the glucose centers in the brain. Like it's too much to the brain, and it gets inflamed and it gets overwhelmed, and then we get this plaquing, and the plaquing itself, that's actually a protective mechanism. Like this isn't, your body's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but we have to make sure that the cleanup crew is working in the brain so that the plaques don't form to begin with. But if you do have plaquing, how do we get rid of it? What's the best, easiest way to get rid of it? And if you can start with like some kind of ketogenic, low carbohydrate diet, your brain, you'll start to get some energy. You'll start to gain clarity. You'll start to sleep better. It's amazing. Again, just what good, clean eating. No, you don't need a sandwich anymore. Like, you know, people are like, what am I going to do for a sandwich? I'm like, you're not 6. Why do you need a sandwich? Like, nobody needs a sandwich. I don't know. Like, we never eat sandwiches in this house. And I don't know, like, we never ate sandwiches growing up. Well, no, I take that back, because my mom would make homemade pita bread and then she'd stuff the pita bread with stuff. So I guess we did, but it wasn't often. Lily says, I just loaded it on a new tab and we'll watch later. Awesome. Good. I'm so glad. Kenny, does it include boiling water? Kenny said he's going to pay to watch me boil water. I love it. And let's see, I answered the chip question. Gonna buy a bag and tape them to myself and show up at your door. You are the chips. Yes. Lily says, potato chips are my thing too. Unfortunately, however, I only do it occasionally. Garlic Parmesan. And you know, some people are salt cravers. Some people are sweet cravers. And so again, when you start to just strip everything back and you go to the cleanest possible way you can eat, you'll start to really notice where those cravings, like the cravings, start to go away. You know, it could be a nutrient thing. It could be an overgrowth of bacteria thing in the gut. But again, these are signals. So when people have cravings, they just think it's a normal part of who they are. But I promise you guys, it's not. It's not at all. Your body is sending a signal. It's trying to communicate and tell you something. Now, I don't know what that something is for you, but when we start to just clean up shop, we start to peel back these layers, put real food in your body. You start to then go, oh, geez, every time I eat a banana, I get hives, or I get a stuffy nose, and I'm picking on bananas because people love their bananas and they're super high in sugar. I have a patient who just got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and somewhere he saw, and so I would say, like, the best thing you could do is watch really good content like mine, And then the worst thing you could do is watch really bad content, like somebody that told him he should have a tablespoon of honey with lemon every morning. And that's it. And I go, and then he has a banana an hour or two later. And I'm like, you are spiking your blood sugar. Like that's, you can't do that. You can't do that first thing in the morning. So I immediately took him off of that. I said, that's just not going to work with type 3 diabetes. We have really got to pay attention. And if you look at, let me look up carbohydrate content, carbohydrates in one banana. 27 grams of carbohydrates in one banana. So if I'm telling you to stay under 100, it's a quarter of your carbohydrates. And then let's go with let's see, how many carbs in a tablespoon of honey? 17. So now we're up to hold on, let me get back over here. There we go. Okay. So yeah, now we're up over 50. We're up over half. Like that's crazy. Not quite half, but we're close. We're definitely close. So now you think, well, what the heck else can I have? Now don't forget there's carbohydrates in broccoli and cauliflower and all the veggies, carbohydrates in potatoes too. But I watch I'm so low carbohydrate that if I do air fried potatoes at night for dinner, I'm still not even hitting my carbohydrate content for the day. So, I like to use an app called MyFitnessPal. So if you're really serious about trying to get your health back on track, I'm just going to pull this up here. I haven't logged during the detox because detox alone requires enough bandwidth that I'm like, I just don't want to log. Well, I'll start logging after this is over. So let me go back to. So I have mine set up for 1,650 calories a day. And my phone's frozen. Come on. Nutrients remaining. When did I last post? Okay, here we go. So like here on Wednesday, January 7th, my whole intake, and again, because I'm going higher protein, lower carbohydrate, higher fat, I had 418 calories left in my day. I had 78 grams of protein. I still had 12 grams of carbohydrates left. So it's really cool when you start to look at your overall, I'm trying to see what I got here. When you start to look at your overall nutrients, and you start to log them. So I give myself, I give myself 110 carbohydrates, and I always come in under it. So 175 grams of protein, 68 grams of fat. So so when you start to log things like that, you really start to get an idea. You're like, wow. I had the epiphany that, I'm Lebanese. We put olive oil on everything. And I was like, oh my God, I'm olive oiling the shit out of everything. So I had to really scale back on the oils. Now I believe we need oils, but I was definitely I was eating too many calories of oils. So my oils are now down in the 30%. I think it's 35. It's 40% carbohydrates, 35% fats, and 25% carbohydrates is where did I say that? 40% protein, 35% fat, 25% carbohydrates. That's how I have mine set up. But it's definitely mind opening. So if you're like, gosh, I've been trying to eat healthy, I can't figure it out. You should do, that's called macros. You should start doing that. And I promise you, it's an eye opener. So, all right, let's see. Mary Lou says, I miss the coffee too. Yeah, she and I had a little, we had a little powwow about coffee. Because she's like, I only have one cup a day, and I heat it 12 times. I'm like, I do the same thing, but I think I'm definitely probably adding more coffee in than I should. So, yeah. Yeah, she had butter there for the blueberry muffins, and she put the coarse sugar on top, so, you could see the baked, crusty sugar on the, yeah, yeah. And she goes, "It's organic flour and it's organic this," and I go, "I know, but I still can't have it." So, anyway, I might have to have her make me some when I'm done. Lily says, I'm going to try making my own potato chips, thin sliced potato, frying coconut oil, then shake garlic and Parmesan. That sounds amazing. I've actually done that in the air fryer, sliced them real thin, and oh man, they come out really, really yummy. That's just a better way to make your indulgent things. And they just taste that much better. Right. I think you jumped on, Kenny, when I said no one needs a sandwich. You're not 6. We don't need sandwiches anymore. We can get rid of that. I would pay to watch you boil water as per agreement. I love it. Anyone else buy bananas? They would bend like rubber instead of break clean. What do you mean? Like way back in the day? Are they different today? Bananas? I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, so the whole point is like, where do you start? And there's so much that can happen, like I said, in 7 days. And I think that's really the magic of what I like to help people with is, let me get your attention. Just do what I tell you to do. Even in 3 days, most people say that within 3 days, their cravings are gone, their bowel movements are better, their sleep is improving, their energy is improving. I mean, for me, within 3 days, my energy was that much better, and it's been great because I would wake up, I think I'm getting good sleep. My ring tells me I'm getting good sleep, but then I'm tired during the day, and then I can't wait to come home and go to sleep. So, it's interesting. It's like, like I say, my Aura ring keeps track for me, but I still wasn't, I was like, God, I gotta figure this out. So stripped everything back and just, feel really good. So, Lily says, recently bought bananas that would bend instead of break clean. People are finding that foods they are buying are different. It does not surprise me, sandwiches. Wait, what? Sandwiches when you're sick? What do you mean? So I think we've grown up. Let me go back to sandwiches for a minute. I think we've grown up with sandwiches as like, it's just such an American thing. And people get stuck into this. What am I going to do for bread? You don't need the bread. Like, there's other ways to eat food. Food does not have to revolve around bread. And listen, as a Lebanese girl, we eat bread with bread. Like, bread is a staple in our household, like growing up. And again, but my mom always made it fresh. We wanted bread. My mom made the bread. My grandmother would make 50 pounds of pita bread at a time. She had 8 kids that she was raising, and she'd make 50 pounds of pita bread at a time down in her dirt floor basement. My other grandmother's, well, it was her sister-in-law. So it was my grandfather's brother's wife. She made the same thing, 50 pounds. And she would make the thin, like pita bread, like lavash, like paper thin. And and down in her dirt basement, and she had her oven down there, and they were like this big around. And she, she did the spinning like a pizza dough, but it was almost see-through. And we'd go down in the basement when she was baking bread, and we would, as soon as it came out, we'd grab it and we'd run upstairs and we'd slather it with peanut butter or just butter and roll it up in a big cigar. And oh man, you guys, it was so good. So good. So, we grew up on bread, but it was always so homemade. And the problem with the bread is there's all these like just horrible ingredients in it. It's no longer natural. I don't even know what it is. How do you even call it bread? Um, Kenny says, I love Sammy's, but haven't had one in a long time. I just had pulled pork Sammy's last night. So I make pulled pork a lot. I don't put the barbecue sauce on it because I hate barbecue sauce. I do like a savory seasoning, and then I will do a slaw, and I put my pulled pork on top of a slaw, and and I eat it like that. I just make a salad out of it. Yeah, I don't need the bread. Wow, my grandma had a dirt floor basement too. Yeah, that was just the thing, right? And crazy low ceilings for sure. Yeah. Yes, I do hate barbecue sauce. When I was pregnant, I would I remember the first time this hit me, I was well, who hates barbecue sauce? Me, this girl. This girl. And I walked by the condiment bar at Costco, and the vinegars from the ketchup and the mustard and the pickles and the onions, and I was like, oh my god. And I've not been able to tolerate anything vinegary since. Now, on occasion, I'll have ketchup, very rare, but I can be eating it, and then as soon as I'm done, I got to get rid of the plate because the smell of it sitting there in front of me in the absence of food, it just absolutely makes me nauseous. So might be a deal breaker. um, yeah. So I mean, the body they were signals. I don't know. I don't know why my body didn't like the vinegar during pregnancy, um, but yeah. So let's not wait until we have a crisis. Let's not wait until we feel like we have to throw up a Hail Mary. Let's not wait for Alzheimer's. Let's not wait for Parkinson's. Let's not wait for cancer. Let's not wait for that stuff because it's so much more difficult. You guys, we all know somebody who's been through, some kind of catastrophic health event, and I don't know if I see it more because of my line of work, but it's heartbreaking. And I just, I want everybody to realize that great health is within their grasp and that you just have to start. And, 10 days is just the opportunity to start the launch. Now, think of it like this. And I've talked about this forever, and Dr. Eric and I talk about this, is that when you are living your life, let's say you took your life 10 days at a time, and let's say 8 of those days you ate super clean, super healthy. And 2 of those days, you had a couple of cocktails, you had a dinner with friends, maybe you had a pulled pork sandwich with barbecue sauce on a bun. It's 2 out of 8 days. Okay, so then we just go back, right? And this is when I always talk about resetting. Just reset, preset. If you know you're going into that environment, you just be that much more clean. If you know you're if you didn't know and it was unexpected, then you just take the next 8 days, 10 days, and you just clean it up. So we don't have to, and you're going on vacation. I always tell my patients, I'm like, go on vacation, enjoy it. And the biggest question is what, I want to drink alcohol. And I just keep it, don't drink any of that like crappy sugary stuff. And most of the time, and Mary Lou, I think, said last week in last week's live that when she went on a cruise, she said it was so easy to eat healthy because there was access to so much good, healthy food. And I remember that from when I went to Mexico. I took my daughter to Mexico for her spring break when she was a senior, 4 years ago? Oh my gosh, something like that. 3 years ago, 4. And oh my gosh, I was so impressed with the food, the quality of the food. The choices it was healthy and clean, and yeah, they had some crappy stuff. But I was with another some good friends of mine, another couple, and they're also very healthy people. And we were tickled. We were like, oh my God, yeah, we had ceviche, and we've got, our favorite salads and healthy greens, and it was great. So, yeah, Kenny says, I don't drink, so I can swap in Miracle Whip because of the missing booze. No, you can't. Let's look at how much sugar is in a tablespoon of Miracle Whip. Is in a tablespoon of Miracle Whip. Let's see what we got there. 1 tablespoon of Kraft Miracle Whip has 1 gram. That's it? There's 40 calories, but there's only 1 gram. Wow. All right. No, there's probably a lot of other ingredients in there that I wouldn't approve of. But Lily says, I go with the 80-20 rule, eat really well 80% of the time, and 20% of the time I allow myself treats. And that's exactly it. It's you're 8 out of 10 days. And if we can do, if more people can do that more often, we won't go into a catastrophic state. But then still, so I probably live 90+% of the time eating really well. But I was still getting fatigue, and I was still, wake up, but did not feel rested. And I thought I was sleeping well, but I was having brain fog. Those are signals. So this happens to all of us, even the healthiest of us. So even when you're doing that, Lily, I would encourage you, go back and watch that video and say, Ken, we're going to eat like this for 7 days. And that also means no coffee, but it also means no creamer either. But also your creamer is probably like the Miracle Whip. There's probably like only 1 gram of carbohydrate in there, but it's the sugars that I'm more concerned about. So, and Kenny says he hasn't had Miracle Whip in a long. Let's give Kenny a hand for not having Miracle Whip in a long time. Yeah. I feel like he lives on Miracle Whip. I feel like if Kenny were a prepper, he probably has like a bunker full of cases of Miracle Whip. So actually, it might not be a bad idea. It's got fat, it's got sugar in it. could be okay. And so yeah, and you can't live without the coffee. That's what we all say until you decide that you don't want coffee to rule your life. And that's why I made that commitment. I was like, I'm doing 10 days without coffee. I do that every year. I think I do the 10-day detox mostly every year for the coffee piece, because I never want anything to have more of a hold over me than I have control over it. And it proved itself. It proved itself that I was addicted to coffee. I was more addicted to it than I thought I was because of the damn headache that was 24 hours long. But the next time something happens to you like that, so if that, you start to get those signals, just pay attention and don't run for the medication. Don't run for the medication. You can get through that. Minerals, water, just start chugging more water. It's an opportunity for you to look at, are you a soda drinker? Do you drink other things? Do you put sugar in your coffee? Do you put sugar in your tea? It helps you to start to recognize all the little ways that what we do, the additives in food, the things we add ourselves, the hidden ingredients in things. You start to go, whoa, wow. I didn't realize all that was in there. And that weight that you feel from your daily life, that starts to get lifted. And that's the super cool part. So Kenny says, wake up one morning this past week, realized I'd forgotten to buy coffee and had a small crisis. Ruh-roh. And enjoyed Miracle Whip in my sandwich, especially with salmon. So like a salmon salad. Just went without because I had things to do at one point. I started getting a headache and figured it was probably from the lack of coffee. Yeah. So more than likely it was. And then if you were just able to just, grind through it, have some water. But then the key is too, it's like, well, then you go back to coffee the next day. So then you never really get rid of the toxin that gave you the headache. So this is why. So now I think I'll be fine now. I'll be able to go and have like one shot of coffee and I'll be fine. So my snow guy is out there. I don't want him here right now because it's gonna be snowing all night. He's got to be here in the morning, not now. No. Sorry, I'm looking at my camera. Okay. All right. No, we're good. Okay. I was gonna be like, stop. Anyway. All right. So I want everybody to go watch that video. I challenge each and every one of you to take 7 days. You might have to go do some shopping once you watch that video. And take 7 days and just eat like that. And just eat super clean and eliminate the coffee, the gluten, the sugars. You will start thinking better. You'll start feeling better. You'll start sleeping better. And if you want a deeper dive and you want to do a detox, there is a link in the show notes and you can hit that. And in that link, that'll send a message to me that you're interested in either the next detox with the doc or just doing a detox. So I can reach out to you and tell you what both of those would look like for you. And I think it's just a great practice. And again, most people don't necessarily know how to detox, but if we start with food, I've always said that we're not going to out supplement a poor diet. So start with your food intake, make sure that you're getting your proper nutrients, and make sure that you are you're supporting your liver and supporting phase 2 of that liver function. So I did make I made hummus in that video. I didn't make hummus in the video, but I made hummus and I showed it in the video. Sesame tahini, which is ground sesame seeds. So sesame is excellent for raising phase 2 of liver detoxification. So you can make tahini sauce. We make tahini dressing, we make tahini sauce, and we put that, like, drizzle that over vegetables or drizzle that over fish or chicken, and it's excellent. So you can use a lot of nutrients to help support your body, and I just encourage you to start there. And I'm just looking at my text messages. So my Metagenics rep, she says there are really strict rules of what Canada will allow in or not. So yeah, that's a bummer, but we'll have to find something. There's got to be something up there that we can make sure we're getting you into to help you out with all this. So say it like Homer, hummus, my homemade hummus. I don't buy it. Store-bought hummus has all kinds of crap in it. So Lily says, I know I need a detox because I have sinus issues that I've never had before. I mean, really, technically, I could throw it in a box and ship it to you. So there's always that. Yeah, I would do that for you guys for sure. With Doritos scoops. Kenny, no, we're not doing that either. Kenny's like the class clown. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, it is 7:02. I'm going to go spend a little time with my kid before she heads back in this snowy winter wonderland to school. But this has been great. Please leave your questions, your comments. Hit that link down below if you want to sign up for the newsletter or if you want to sign up for Detox with the Doc. And I will definitely get in touch and we can talk about what you might need from me and how I can help you. And thank you. Yes, remember, it's caring, sharing, and community. And so make sure you're jumping over. If you're on my channel, make sure you're jumping over to It's All About the Biology. If you're on It's All About the Biology, please jump on over to my channel, Dr. Paula Ruffin, and let's keep spreading the word of health and wellness to the world. So anyway, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you Thursday for Chiropractic is Sexy, and then we'll see you next week for Sunday Night Live. All right. Oh, see ya.